No fear anymore. can feel your energy, it's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I.
Either way, hello everybody. Welcome to the RFDL podcast. I'm Ecliptic Fades, joined by Firestreak, Docky, and our special guest for tonight. It's gonna be RooTheFuzzy. How are we all doing?
You're doing good.
Doing really well. Amazing.
Docky, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get straight into it. Let's just start talking our normal, you guys know what we do here. We talk everything RFDL related here on the podcast. We got some really exciting things to talk about tonight. We got some special clips that you guys have never seen before. We have our brand new Turtles update of the week. And along with that, we've got a little extra special thing for one of the members of Protogen Rebellion as well. But you guys will find that out in a bit. But for now, guys, let's talk about the matches we had last week. And we had 4 Game 5s, which is amazing.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that. I mean, I think I've said that so much. Like, there was too many sweeps in the beginning, but I knew, like, in the long haul that would be less and less as teams got better. And yeah, everyone's better now, so that's it's fun I think for me, just to witness it and playing it.
I mean, the more Game 5s we can have, the better, in my opinion. And, I mean, they went well last week. Hopefully we can just get more of those in the upcoming weeks because, I mean, they're always entertaining. They're exciting to see. And I think it's a bit more fun for the players as well whenever you're going to these Game 5 series rather than just having it be sweeps every week. So, yeah, hopefully we get tons more of them. It's the more the merrier.
Yeah, Rue, you were actually a part of one of the Game 5s that we'll be talking about later. But coming from a player's perspective, playing in a Game 5, how does that feel for you?
To be honest, I'm more of the positive guy. I got like that strong attitude, that strongness. I'm like, we got this no matter what. And like, I held that mental like till the very last. I'm not the person to give up no matter what the consequences are. And I just kind of played really well into like terms of like confidence as an individual and confidence as a whole team. Like, it just really worked out really well.
Well, that's great to hear, and we definitely have seen that confidence come out from your team and yourself here in these last couple of weeks. And as I said, we will be talking about those matches here in a bit, but let's start talking about, let's get the part where we're not in Game 5s. Let's talk about the Game 3s and Game 4s first, and we'll start with the one that I want to talk about the least, X3 Tactics and Claude 9. That was a tough one.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you wouldn't want to talk about that one, Fade, but it was, I mean, it was fine. It wasn't as, I think, bad as you make it out to be, but I think with the tech issues and whatnot, and trying to last minute get some of that stuff worked on probably made it difficult, or that could be a cope, maybe a little bit of both. But, I don't know, I mean, they're a solid team, they're undefeated, and I think that that shows right now, and all 3 of them have been ranking up, so I don't know, they're terrifying. They beat us the week before, so I'm right there with you, Fade.
I mean, just shows in their rank. Like, every single one of their players ranked up since the beginning of the season. You got Corrupt going up to SSL, you have Shy going up to GC2, and you have Brian hitting Champ 2 for the first time. So, I mean, shows when you're really meshing with your teammates and you are all really pushing each other up to a level that you might not have achieved before. That's what we want in the league, and I think they're a great example of that. So, I mean, hopefully we see some more teams elevating to that level in the near future, but we'll just need to wait and see. But they are definitely standing out, and as much as I wish I didn't think this, I think the results of it, even without tech issues, may have been 1, maybe 2 games, but I think they would have taken it anyways. So, I mean, they're a good team. What can you say?
Yeah, I have to agree. Rue, let's ask you. X3 Tactics. What do you guys think is? What do you think is so good about that team?
Honestly, their team's like really solid. Like I've played against them, and they were like, their offense is just something else. I mean, like it was like when Maroon was around, and even was it Yuki? I don't know. But like we were playing against X3, and their, for me, it just felt fast. It just felt like offense. Like just pure on offense. Like so much pressure. Like it was like kind of like really hard to get out of defense. In like my view.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, and that was even with the old X3 Tactics squad. I believe, or wait, no, they haven't changed anything, have they? No, I'm actually thinking of BDS
Bye.
that actually changed stuff. But I gotta ask, what do you think with your team now, Rue? Do you guys how do you think the results would be different if you guys had played them with this squad coming in? Because this squad that you have now has been on a tear recently, and I definitely think that with as much practice as you guys have been able to put in, we could have had a bit of a closer result. So what do you think is going to look what do you think it's going to look like when you play them in the second half of the league play?
Honestly, it's quite promising. Like I've been known like my team, we also have offensive pressure, and at the same time X3 also has offensive pressure, and I'm really hyped to look for this. I think the matches will be closer, in my opinion. But I want to watch it. I just want to play it. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, I think that would be really close too. I'm very excited for that match. Unfortunately, we do have a bit of time to wait for that one, as the closest we might see that is the mid-season tournament. But let's go ahead and move off of X3 Tactics. Let's talk about Dignipause and Black Bunny Gaming. Ended in 4 games. Black Bunny Gaming looks really good. It looked like the Hammer Show the entire series. And Dignipause looks like they have potential, but I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on the new Dignipause roster.
Yeah, they need to work some things out. I think they have the potential to be super good. I mean, obviously I've been an advocate for Sylvie's like as a player, but I also have played a bunch with Yuki, and Yuki's also a fantastic player. And then Nova's been absolutely, like, even in that series, Nova played really, really well. So I think they're gonna be good. They just have to obviously work out some of the rotation stuff. Having full roster changes like that can be difficult, so it's not super surprising that there was some bumps in the road. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're gonna be really fun to watch down the road.
I mean, I know I used this analogy during the stream, and I used it before this stream, and I'm going to use it again. When learning a new roster, you gotta let it sit in the crock pot. It's not something you can just throw in the microwave and have it be done in a minute. It's going to take time. And once they have the proper amount of time to just let that roster kind of cook a little bit, kind of see them really warm up to each other, they'll they'll get there, but I think we just got to give them time to get there, and then they'll be good in the long run. But I think they have like another week or maybe two to really get to that point. I think going around once we get to those couple of weeks right before midseason though, like that week 10, week 11 type time, they're going to be perfectly fine, and they'll be completely up to kind of the potential they have. So just give them time; they'll get there.
I have completely lost tabs on Dignitas. Like, I just don't know what's going on. Totally.
Yeah, that is fair. There's a lot of roster moves that happened last week, and the big ones for Dignipause, I think they were the biggest roster move of last week, as they pulled in Yuki and Nova. And honestly, I do have to agree with what you guys said. I definitely think that it's going to take some time, but I think they have the potential to be a really good team, especially with Nova doing so decent in the last couple of series they've played. They're looking really good on the back line, getting almost a save per game, and 1.88 shots per game as well. So you know that they're definitely going to be a part of that offensive rotation. And when you add Yuki along with Sylvie, and you just, combine their mechanics together, you just got to think of the insane plays that they're going to be able to pull off as a team, and I'm ready to see it. But I'm kind of not sure where to put them in terms of like what teams they could beat, what teams they can't. Like, as of right now, I could see them beating like some of the teams, but not most of the teams. But when you play against these Black Bunnies, these BDSs, these X3 tactics, right, as they are right now, those are going to make some really close matchups. And I'm just hoping that they're well prepared for those when the time comes.
Well, I think they will be. Again, I think they just need time to really get on the same page as each other, and once they are, they'll be playing well. And I think that's another thing, is that's one of the great things about the league as it stands right now, is we see it time and time again. Any team can beat any other team just depending on who shows up better on any given day. We really, like, out of the lower 11 teams, X3 has looked pretty dominant, but every other team has looked extremely competitive with one another, and I think that can lead to some really good storylines where, no one's out of it yet. Like, everyone is, like, still well in for pretty much any seeding going into the mid-season, so we'll just need to wait and see.
Yeah, I gotta agree there. Let's go ahead and move on to, the games that everybody wants to talk about, our 5-game series that we had on the week. And the fun thing about this part is that every single match we're going to talk about, except the last one, has to do with one of the casters that may or may not be here right now. Let's just start off talking about Awaptic Gaming and Protogen Rebellion. That one was quite a series, and I mean, it went all the way to Game 5. What's it? I can't remember if it was an OT.
Yeah. Yes.
It was an OT, and then Awaptic takes it. And I mean, it was so back and forth, Docky. Like, what was the mental for your guys' team, and like, what was the kind of, what was going through your head as you guys went through the series? Because it was just so back and forth the entire time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my approach to everything has been to, like, have fun, for lack of a better word, or better phrase. So it's, especially playing against that team where I consider all 3 of those people on Protogen Rebellion my friends. It's kind of nice to just play a really exciting match against them. So there wasn't really a point where I was ever stressed, even when things got dicey. Especially because that game 5, not only was it an overtime, but we were up 2-0 with 30 seconds left, and they scored 2 goals in 30 seconds to tie it and take it to overtime. which I think normally was like be kind of stressful. But even at that time, I was just like, it's fine. Like, still having fun, and we ended up being able to pull it out. And I think that mental kind of helped just keep the jitters away. So, yeah, I've got really good teammates that play really well. Gala is incredibly underrated in my opinion, and has shown that he's a really solid all-around GC1. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I hope the other guys had as much fun as I did.
Yeah, I think it was a really great match, but I was going to ask Fire, what were you thinking while you were watching that? Were you casting that one with me?
I do not remember. There were so many Game 5s, I've lost track of them all.
I think it was Cookie and Fire.
Yeah, I think that one was, it was Cookie and me, because I didn't get to say the phrase I wanted to say. I'm just waiting for the right time, and I got a good one for Awaptic.
It's never gonna happen.
No, it's going to happen.
It's gonna happen
100% gonna happen.
I'm pretty sure what happens, Gala will literally throw me.
Excellent. I mean, cats are very throwable, so that's fair.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, both teams played really well, and Protogen Rebellion, I'm still goated team, and despite Daki forgetting their all-important fourth member of that roster, I have high hopes for that team still. They looked really solid, and I mean, I think they're still going to be able to pick it up as we go into. I think they're like a second half type of team. They're going to take some time to get up to speed, but once they are there, they're going to really pop off. This week it might be tough for them. They're going up against X3. That's a tough matchup for any team right now. But, I mean, going into those weeks after that, I think they're going to start finding their pace. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what that team can do. But on the side of Awaptic, I mean, they're a good team. I've had them as a good team since preseason, since the draft. So, I mean, really solid team. Fun to play against, and I'm sure those guys are having a lot of fun on that team, while also seeing quite a bit of success. So, good on them, and well played last week.
Let's go.
And Roo, what do you think about, I don't know if you saw the match, but if you did, what were your thoughts on the match?
I've not watched it, but like I do agree on Ducky's view about having fun with Rocket League. Like most people I've played Rocket League with, and like the major Rocket League competitive fan base or player base, it's like just full grind. They're not having much fun. And in my opinion, have some fun in Rocket League for once.
I had to agree.
That's what I
there.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think having fun is a lot of what the league is trying to be about, and I think that, the more that we can see players come in with that sort of attitude, the better. Because we want this to be a fun environment for everybody, not a super sweaty, competitive, toxic league. We want it to be a fun league where you can make new friends, find some new play styles that you mesh with, and hopefully improve as a player yourself. So, love to see that mentality coming out from Awaptic. Hopefully we can have all the teams eventually coming out with the same mentality. Let's go ahead and talk about the next game on our list, which is going to be Lumimosity and Persian 1. And Persian 1 comes through with the second reverse sweep of the season, only 1 week after we got our first one. Have the floodgates opened? Are we going to get a reverse sweep every week now? What's the thoughts on that?
Surprised it hasn't happened more. It's so easy for that momentum to flip, and once it does, it's so hard to reflip it. But did we only have one reverse sweep last season?
I can't remember.
I know that we got one. The Kitten Court did against Rule No. I don't know if there was any others, but it didn't happen very often. But yeah, I feel like with how good the teams are this season and how balanced stuff is, momentum can if it swings and one team starts to feel like they have an advantage or they start to get a read on the other team, that's such a hard thing to counteract in real time. So I don't know if it'll happen every week or every other week even, but I think we'll definitely see more of those as the season goes on.
Yeah, I want to say that last season we were on the wrong end of a reverse sweep, but I could not even begin to tell you who it was against or how it went down. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that we see more of them, and I'm hoping that we see some reverse sweep denials too. That way, once one team wins the first two, another team wins the second two, people's mentalities aren't like, oh well, it's chalked now. They won the last two, it's over. Like, no, I want to see a little bit of both. Some where one team climbs their way back into it and then get denied in the last game. I want to see some more successful reverse sweeps. I like any Game 5 series is good, but the reverse sweeps are especially exciting. So hopefully we get more opportunities for it, but we'll just need to see in the future weeks.
Yeah, I'll agree there. I'm trying to see what some of the results from previous weeks are, just to phrase my question to Roo. But I have seen that your team in particular has gone to Game 5 quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. What's the mentality? I know that you said earlier, like, it's just try the best you can and, like, have fun with it. But what's the team mentality like when you have to go to a Game 5?
So Game 5?
Yeah.
I don't know, like... That's actually a really good question. Let me see. I think... On my side, on, like, how I feel, I just get a bit tense where I'm like, alright, I got Mizu, I got Reaver. These both are like probably the best teammates I could have. So I'm pretty sure like we can win this. I'm like confidence up there. I'm like, wait, got this. There's no way we're losing after we've like gone through all of this. There's absolutely no way we're gonna lose this. Like this is like the really one thing that has been like going through my mind every time we go through a Game 5 with any team. I'm like, look, we've like basically we've tried our best all the way to get to Game 5, and we're not losing at a Game 5.
I like the confidence. I definitely like the confidence. I think it works well for your team, and we have seen you guys pull off some really good results lately based on that confidence in these Game 5s. One of which was last week against Dignipause. That one was extremely close. And then there was the one that we just had during week 5, but that's going to be our topic after this next match. And Firestreak is going to start cringing because he knows what's coming up. But Gentle Paws versus Twisted Tails. And Twisted Tails gets their first win on the season. And I mean, I'll go straight to Daki. What's the thought on the match there? It was a really good play from Twisted Tails there.
Yeah, I knew they could do it the whole time. I never really had much of doubt. I mean, Baxis has been improving so much every single week. I feel like Baxis is getting better and better. Liska's obviously goated. And so, yeah, I never had a doubt that they could win. I feel like I said, I feel like I've broken a record, but I feel like I've said this since probably like week 2, that they've been super unlucky with how some of their Game 5s have gone. But yeah, I think they played well. I don't know if it was Gentle Paws playing poorly. I think that, they might feel that way about themselves, but I don't think that they should. I think it was just a good match altogether. So yeah, not super surprising, but happy as obviously some teams have to lose some of these games, so it might not feel good for people, but I was kind of happy to see them get that win and be able to pull it out in that Game 5 for once.
Yeah, Fire. gotta go ahead and ask you, like, you guys played really well. You had some really close games, but Twisted Tails just kind of showed up. Were you guys like a little bit underestimating them? Did just, what happened in the mental for you guys, and where do you think you guys lost that ability right there in that match? Because it seemed like you guys were playing really well.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to them. That's definitely the best series that they have played to date. Like, hands down, they outperformed expectations, and they put on a really good performance, which is always good to see from any team. Honestly, I really do not. I like how our team played as well. Like, Gentle Paws played perfectly fine for the most part, other than me throwing. We don't talk about it. Yeah, we played fine. I know my team will regain, and we're confident going into next week, which is kind of it's something that Gentle Paws did last season, and something I'm preaching to my two players this season as well. As you got the 24-hour rule. You can whether it's a win or a loss, you have 24 hours to process what happened that week, and then it's right back to focusing on the next week. And I mean, it helped keep our mental up last season on Gentle Paws, and I mean, especially when you play a team that is as hungry for a win as Twisted Tails was, with the quality roster they have. It's not something we're down about. So, I mean, they played well. Hats off to them. I mean, Liska and Joshi seem to have that chemistry much more on point than the week before, which is good to see, because if those two are able to click, they are deadly. So, I mean, well played to them, and GG's.
Yeah, well played to the team. Now, Roo, I got an interesting question for you. Going off of Twisted Tails' win here, to start the league, you guys didn't necessarily have the best results, losing your first two matches, but then in week 3, you finally got your first win. And I just wanted to ask, like, how did that feel as a player, finally getting your first win in the league, and how did that help your team just gain momentum to go on this winning streak that you guys have had?
Honestly, it felt like time just flew by. Sure, we were losing here and there, but I'm like, it's alright. It's unfortunate. I might have trolled here and there, but if I just practice more, stop trolling, like maybe like kind of get into the depth of rotation in threes, maybe it'll just work out, and it just worked. I mean, like, hats off to my teammates, because I am easily like one of the most troll persons you can find on the server. Like, my rotations are like the worst. I'm like bumping my teammates. Like, it was something, but like my teammates, they were like strong. Even like after that, they're like, it's all right, and it's really nice because I've not seen many players with that kind of strong mental, even after like being like bumped by their own teammate rotation. And it's kind of giving that confidence boost in me that even if I do make mistakes, I can just make them and I can just fix them. And how I feel winning, it just felt nice. It's just like that click satisfaction. I'm like, oh yeah, we got this finally. One win. This is like all I need to boost my confidence. I'm like, we got this one win. How far can we go? That's all.
Yeah. Honestly, I think you guys have been looking really good. And I definitely think once the biggest hurdle, especially for a lot of players, is getting that first win. And then once you get that, I think it just kind of just comes more naturally. And I think that you guys are in that spot. And to talk about that a little bit more, we are going to go ahead and show off our match of the week, which of course was Fox Clan versus Big Dragon Squad, going all the way to 5 games. This one was as back and forth as it could get. You could just constantly see players, teams just getting goals one after another. The scoreline always remained close, except for game 5, where BDS kind of just took the lead very early, and Fox Clan just couldn't come back. Just gonna go straight to Roo for this one, but what was your thoughts in this matchup?
It was honestly like, I was just around like, how do I put this in words? We kept on, it was like, how do I say this? Oh my. I think it's pretty much the same with every other team have. Like, even though, like, we got scored on and we scored, it's like, it's alright, let's keep it going. On my mind, like, in my mind that was going on, like, we just gotta push through this. We got this. I just put my mental high. But, like, I'm, like, incredibly amazed by Reverb and Meezer. They're, like, oh my, they're just one of the best teammates to have. Like, Reverb, crazy player. Meezer also is like, it's like having two mechanical brilliances in a team. That's like probably like the best I could ask for. Like it's just perfect. In my eyes, this is perfect. That's all.
And we'll go over to Fire and Docky. Just what were your guys' thoughts about this matchup? It was really close.
I mean, it was definitely a really close matchup, but I do want to point out, even though Roo's being very humble and almost downplaying his rotations a bit, he's really close to being top 10 in the league in saves per game, which is typically your more rotationally focused players in the saves per game category, and that is the most on that Big Dragon Squad team. So, I mean, two very good players as their top two ranks on that team, plus having RooTheFuzzy kind of as that defensive lifeline for them that can make some really big saves when it's needed, is definitely working out really well for that team. So it's great to see that team starting to mesh and starting to come together as a team and just putting some really good plays together and meshing. In terms of Fox Clan in the match, I think they played well. Like I doubt they'll be really too disappointed about their performance during that match, because it was just a back and forth game, and unfortunately for them it ended up not going their way, but at the same time they played well, and I think they know that. So, well played to both teams. It was an exciting one to cast.
Yeah, I mean, I'll speak for Alexis. I know we were casting this one. I know Alex will agree with me. Neither of us had any time to speak basically the entire time, because of how many amazing goals were happening. You talk about one and then another one would happen. Like, the amount of clip-worthy shots that happened on net was crazy. I've never seen an entire, just everyone peaking. So it was yeah, it was a lot of fun just watching it. Just every single shot was fantastic. So, you know, everyone peaked. Everyone played really well. So everyone should be happy with themselves. Even Foxland, who ended up not being able to pull off, they pulled off some crazy shots. So yeah, be happy, I think, with how that went.
Yeah, something I've noticed is Fox Clan has a tendency to go to Game 5. They've done it in 3 out of their last 5 series, and I mean, you know, eventually not every series is going to be able to come out as a win, but I mean, taking it to Game 5, that's your best chance of keeping a very strong game differential, which is going to mean a lot, especially in this league with the teams so close. Game differential is really going to mean... I mean, at the end of the day, it could mean, you know, being in the top bracket for playoffs, or being in that round 1 where you have to fight to survive, you know? Like, you could get a bye, or you could have to play that first round, and I definitely think that you want the bye. So, getting to Game 5, that is one of the more important topics. If you are going to lose, at least take it as far as it can go, and that way you are at the top of everybody that has a lower than perfect record. And they're getting close to that right now. If we go ahead and look at the leaderboard, you can see that here's our leaderboard. And yes, this is going to be the new leaderboard format going forward, just to help us with editing and everything. But X3 Tactics, up at the top, of course, until somebody dethrones them. Black Bunny in second by a 1 game difference. And then tied up, Persian 1, Awapt Gaming. And then Fox Clan getting that +1, which, again, you know, the more game 5s you get, the better, or the more sweeps you get, the better that's going to be. But you, taking it to game 5 still means that you get those 2 wins. So you'd rather get to a game 5 and lose than get to like a game 3 and lose in a sweep. So they're staying middle of the pack right now, along with Big Dragon Squad, who have moved all the way up in a couple of weeks to the 6th place. Following up, Lumosity is going to be our start of the 2 and 3s with 0 game differential. And then Dignipause, Gentle Pause, both the Paws kind of tied once again. And then Claude9 right below them. Twisted Tails and Progen Rebellion also tied. However, Twisted Tails has the better goal differential based off of their last match. So that's going to put them in the lead there. But Twisted Tails finally out of 12th. Protogen going to have to work on it a little bit. And I have heard that they are taking steps to get to that point. Would you guys like to hear about what Protogen's Rebellion is doing?
Oh boy.
All right, what is it, Fade? Lay it on us. We're ready.
Obviously, there's a couple of changes that they're making. First one is obviously our weekly Turtles update, guys. Protogen found themselves at the end of the week in last place, and I got to talking to everybody, and they were like, what do we do for Turtles? Because we moved him to the city side, and that just wasn't enough. He's still got too many people close by that he can converse with, so they decided to take another step, and they have moved Turtles over to the countryside. He does not have basically any people to talk to. He has the sheep here that he's seemed to befriend. Not sharing the sugar cubes, though. Those stay away from the sheep. That's not allowed. Turtles have to keep his sugar cubes close to the chest. But this is where he's at now. Hopefully he can get a win in this next week, and if so, we might see him get some extra treats. But they are playing X3 Tactics, so it's a good chance for Turtles to have to move somewhere else. And if they end up losing, we'll see where that is. But we do have one more update for the Protogen Rebellion squad, because they wanted to figure out something to do for one of their other members who has been maybe not necessarily experiencing trouble with the roster, but wanted to give them a bit of a morale boost. And that's where we turn to our good friend Static, because Static very recently got a very special item in the mail, and he has used his item to create basically what I would call is a victory dance for his team for when they win. And to show it off right now, we're just gonna go on over to the Static cam and show you guys what he has going on. So as you can see, Static in his nice little new suit now, and he just wants to do a little dance for everybody. So this is going to be the victory dance that Static does every time that they win now. Yes. Showing off the beans as usual, doing a little punchy. Hey
Static, can you floss for us?
And then to end it off, he's gonna go ahead and try to Fortnite emote on you guys.
No, you got it. You're doing it.
Static definitely trying to help team morale in the best way possible. And I think it's gonna work.
Oh my gosh, that's glorious.
Hey, it'll do something.
Do you guys think that this is gonna help Protogen Rebellion for their next week?
You know, I'm gonna say yeah for sure, surely. Just no logic behind it. Just yep.
You know, I think they're operating under the theory right now of the fluffier you are, the better you play. So, I mean, that theory is going to be put to the test, but, I mean, Static does look very, very fluffy right there. So, I mean, I have high hopes for him. He's going to start popping off, I'm calling it.
Rue, what do you think? Do you think that this boost in Static's fluffiness is going to be enough to get them a win next week?
I want to be full confident and say 100%. Like, that just left a smile on me. Like, it's just gonna work. I have the feeling of it.
You know what? I'm going to have to agree there. I think that that's going to be exactly what they need to finally take down the X3 Tactics roster, make them lose a match. And then that's when we start seeing the decline of X3 Tactics. Nah, I can't leak the script that early. That's, that comes later on after midseason. Anyway, guys, it is time, before we get into the MVP of the week, it's time to talk about a little bit what we call the free agent portal. Not too much going on this week in the realms of free agents. There's been one picked up, and there's been a player that played last week. So let's just go ahead and show them off. You can see Ivy got some stats from their last match with Black Money Gaming, but you can see right over here on the right, Sam is going to be picked up by Persian 1, replacing Golden. So that's going to be a bit of an interesting one. We did see last week, guys, that the Sam and Drake combo did have a effective strategy against Lumosity. And I think Persian 1 want to go full tilt into it. Obviously, that does leave Golden, who is going to be a very excellent pickup in the GC1 category for anybody to pick up as a free agent. And I would definitely say that Golden's going to be a fine addition as a sub or as a player to any team. And so if you guys are looking for a GC1, maybe you should go holler at him, try to get him on a team. I definitely want to see him play some more, as he did help Persian 1 get those first 2 wins under their belt. So what do you guys think about the roster change?
So hear me out. This just occurred to me. Imagine a world where we see the Corrupt and Golden run back from last season.
Ooh.
They won RFDL Season 0 with it. But imagine that there is a world out there where that gets ran back. And that would be very interesting to see how he would mix in with those rotations. But I mean, Golden,
but then
very
they'd have
good.
to drop Shy.
Yeah, and Shy is a very strong player in his own right. I played with him the other day. Very, very strong. But yeah, I mean, I think Golden will get picked up by somebody, whether it be for a few weeks as a free agent while teammates on vacation or whatever the case may be. But I'm sure he'll get plenty of action this season, and it'll be good to see him get back in the games.
Jockey, you got any thoughts about the Persian 1 roster change?
Yeah, I mean, I did not see it coming. I will be 100% honest. I thought Golden played the best, consistently on that. Not the best, but consistently reliable on that team for a while. So, yeah, definitely a shock to see them get dropped. But I think for anyone that wants, yeah, like you were saying, anyone that wants a good player that I think deserves to get more playtime. That's all. I think Golden's a really good option. So I as well hope to see them get more playtime. Whether that's as a sub or as a full-time member, if needed. But Golden's great and a great personality. So I'm sure they'll do just fine.
Yeah, Rue, what's your thought with the Sam Drake combo that we saw this last week? Do you think that it continues to be successful for Persian 1?
I'm not seeing anything from Persian 1 to be honest, but looking at the league standings, Persian 1 seems to be like a really strong team. Like across, I think like 2 weeks, they're just like first or second, and I'm kind of interested to see, will this roster change affect that, or are they still gonna go strong as a team?
Yeah,
That's
I think
all.
that they're gonna. I think they're gonna be a strong team. I definitely, one thing I want to see is Shy have to take a week off, and Golden get picked up for the team, and I want to see what that team could perform as, because that would just be very interesting to me, just to see how that would kind of work. I think that would be a team where Corrupt has to be more of the literal first man, like a bit of a ball chasing mentality. Golden is exceptional in the defensive line, and I think that's where he's always going to be able to shine. So I think you leave him back, you let Corrupt go forward, and then obviously you have Brian, who is going to do just as good in the midfield as he's been doing. I think that team could really work, but I definitely want to see it in action at least once during the league. So hopefully, Shy, just become busy, preferably during a week where I have to play you.
They would be missing their season 0 hard carry though.
That is true. They would be missing Van, but I don't think that would. I think with the team that they have right now, I think they'd still pose a very decent threat about a lot of these teams.
Before we go on from the free agent portal, Fade, I do want to point out Ivy, pretty strong performance by them this week too at that GC1 rank. They if they were able to keep up that performance week on week, they would be a top 2 in demos, second to only Vezex, and actually not by that huge of a margin. They would be the only person to break in with over 50% of the demos as Vezex has gotten, because they averaged 2 a game during that series. So I mean, they're definitely a disruptive player, and I think that they'll be able to fill in well for some of these more aggro GC1s that we see in the league going forward.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think that they showed up really well, which honestly was kind of surprising to me. I've heard that they don't play the game as much as they used to, so I was expecting a bit of a, not a lackluster performance, but I was definitely expecting something more like a C3 or so. But I think that they really showed that they earned that GC1 title that they have here in our league, and I think that they're going to be a strong picking for anybody who might be looking for another GC1 to sub in or play full time. I definitely agree. I think that that's going to be a very good pickup, and honestly, I think the GC1s are kind of the topic for tonight, because as we get onto our MVP, it is going to be another GC1 here in the league, and I mean, let's just talk about them. From Awaptic Gaming, it is going to be Gala. That's going to be the Week 5 MVP, and they just had a really standout performance in this match against Pro Gen Rebellion.
Yeah, they didn't, if I remember, they didn't have too many like super flashy plays or anything, but they were just so consistently in the exact place that Awaptic needed them to be, whether that be with some really big saves that they had, or just being able to slot some really nice shots that would allowed that team to thrive this week. So, I mean, this flip reset dunk was kind of insane, but yeah, they definitely had some really nice shots, and they were just exactly the player that Awaptic needed them to be in this series. So well played to them. They definitely stood out to me. So
I mean, I felt like Gala played fantastic. I wasn't really surprised, but I didn't know that that was gonna happen. Yeah, like I said, very underrated player. Not just someone that can set up, but they can score and be on defense. Also just a good mental, which has been nice. With just trying to transition into getting the roster and run rotation set with, Gala joining last week. So, yeah, it's, I definitely think that, yeah, like I said, very underrated, very, very, very great player. And I'm very happy to have him on my team.
Yeah, Rue, what have you seen from Gala recently, if you've seen any of their gameplay?
I've seen none. I've literally just seen. I am probably. How can I say this? I've probably not seen any of the teams except for the teams BDS played with.
That's
I
fair.
don't know why.
Well, I will say that Gala looks really good on this Holoptic squad. I'm hoping that they continue to look as good going into these next few weeks. If they keep playing like that, I'm sure Holoptic is going to be happy with getting some more wins under their belt. Now let's see. I think what have we got to talk about? We got the MVP of the week. We did the match of the week. We talked about turtles. I think, guys, it's going to be time to talk about our. I think it's about time that we talk about the prediction battle and get our predictions for the next week going, as we will talk about predictions here. Let's pull up the leaderboard and show everybody where we're sitting at for the league. I'm barely hanging on to the lead there with a 14-8. Hammer, plays of the week are on Saturday, so don't worry, we will have those ready. We just didn't have them for last week due to some issues with our dolly cam softwares. But anyway, moving on to the caster battle. I'm still in the lead, but I'm barely in the lead. Fire and Arrow are both on my tail, and Docky just lagging a little bit behind. But then our guests are also still equal on predictions for the entire time they've been predicting, which is actually impressive, being exactly 50%. So very excited to see that. But let's talk about the matches coming up, and then we will talk about our predictions. So matches coming up for this next week. This is the right one, right? It is. Okay, cool. We have Twisted Tails versus Lumosity, Cloud9 and Dignipaws, Gentle Paws versus BDS, Persian 1 versus Awoptic, Black Money versus Fox Clan, and X3 Tactics versus Protogen Rebellion. And as you can see in the middle there, our featured matchup of the week is going to be Persian 1 and Awoptic Gaming. So excited to see that match go for sure. And we will be predicting on that one last. But we will start off looking at the master sheet, and we will go top down from there. So we're going to start with the one that I can't talk about. And we're going to talk about Cloud9 and Dignipaws. Now I'm going to go ahead and go over to Fire Streak to start off our predictions and rotate around the screen. So Fire, what you got?
So, Cloud9 Dignipaws, you say?
Yep.
Oh, I mean, I think that one's going to be a really, really close matchup. I do think Dignipaws has a really, really solid squad. However, I think they need another week to really mesh together. So I'm gonna take Cloud9 in 5.
Okay, Docky, what you got?
I'm so sorry, Faye. I'm so sorry. I have Dignipaws taking it in 3. I don't think they need that much time, especially with having 2 players that are, I think, very just good at playing different playstyles. I mean, for Yuki, I've seen Yuki play at least 3 different playstyles when we play together, and then Silva's just pretty solid as to have on that team, and then Nova's obviously been absolutely peaking. So yeah, I think they'll come back better than they played last week, and that's kind of scary to think about. So I'm sorry, but I do not see them losing that series.
Rue, what are you predicting?
Oh my god, this is not gonna go good. I have no information on anything. I'm gonna take Dignipaws. I don't know, I've just seen them stand really strong over like the league standings I've watched. So I'm taking Dignitas. But I think it's gonna be a close one in my opinion. I think it's a game 4 maybe? I don't know. Okay, I forgot how it works now. Yeah, I'm taking Dignitas.
All right. And we'll have to see what Aralax says later on. And we will let you guys know what he picks during the weekend. We'll have to have him do some live picks for sure. Let's go on to our next match. Persian 1 versus Elliptic Gaming. And so this time Docky can't participate. Fire. Would you like to go ahead and predict here?
I'm sorry to Cookie. I'm sorry to Persian 1. But Elliptic has looked like in my opinion, just the far more consistent team. When Persian 1 is on, I think if they show up and they're on their game, they're going to keep this a really, really, really close series. However, they've kind of been hit or miss this season. They've kind of been, hot some weeks, cold some weeks. So I think I'm going to need to choose Elliptic in this one, but I'm going to say on average probably in 5 again. Because I think it's either Persian 1's going to take it to 5 and win, or Elliptic is just going to roll through it. So, yeah, I'll say Elliptic in 5.
All right, Roo, what have you got here?
Okay, this is interesting. I think I'm taking Persian on this one. I just have I've seen them before. It's like they look soft, but at the same time, I am pretty sure based on the league standings, even oh my god, I can't pronounce the name.
Elliptic?
Someone help me out. Yeah, Elliptic also is standing strong, so I'm. This is gonna be a close one in my opinion, and I think Persian won game 5 as well. It's gonna be
Interesting. I am gonna go against the grain here. I think Elliptic Gaming looked really good lately. I like what Persian 1 are pulling out, but I do think that Docky and T-Park and Gala have a little bit of an edge over them. I definitely think that they have what it takes to take these guys down. I don't think it's going to 5. I'm giving it to Elliptic in 4 here. And now, let's move on to the next one. Twisted Tails Lumimosity. This one's an interesting one. Fire, what do you got?
Ooh. I mean, I have been saying Twisted Tails. Been getting better and better every week. I also don't know who Lumosity is going to roll with this week, but I would assume it's going to be Avid. And, I mean, Avid, very strong player. He didn't play last week, but the week before he shined and was our, weekly MVP. And, for that reason, I think Lumimosity is going to take this one, but once again, a 5-game series, because I think both of these two teams are quality teams, and I think it's going to be... I'm going to call it Lumimosity is going to take it after a 4-minute overtime in Game 5.
Oh, feisty.
Wait, whose turn?
Your turn,
Your
Docky.
turn, Docky.
Oh, okay. I gotta think. I gotta do the calculations in my head. I don't have Airlux here to do them for me. I say Twisted Tails, but I think they escape the Game 5 curse. I think they win in 4. I think they continue to play and take momentum from their last one, I think, forward into their mental.
Okay. Rue, what do you have for this one?
I completely forgot who was playing in Luminosity and Twisted Tales, to be honest. I have probably not watched anything. But if I had to go with it, I'd go for... Oh my god, I cannot read these names.
Lumimosity?
Yeah, I'll go for him. I have no clue. I'm just taking... It's just like picking random at this point. But I've seen Luminosity just stand strong so far, like in the league standing, so yeah, I'll just pick them.
Okay. I am going to say this one is a tough one. However, I do think that if we get a performance from Abbott again, I definitely think, I'm pretty sure we're going to see. I think Lumimosity takes this one. Aeroax knows how Gala plays and will be able to counter that. And I think that that's really going to put the ball in Joshy's corner. He's going to have to pop off. And I can see it happening, but I still give the edge to Lumimosity. So I'm saying 5. Game 5 once again.
Did you say Gal? I think you mean Liska.
That's what I meant. I said Gala, didn't I?
You did, but that's okay.
Oh, well, NA production, it's fine. I can't even remember teams at the end of the day. Let's move on to the next one. Big Dragon Squad versus Gentle Paws. Gonna be skipping over Fire Streak for this one. So, Daki, when you're ready, your prediction.
Choose wisely.
Okay, I feel mean because I've been voting against all of the casters, but I can't not vote against BDS with how well they've been playing. So apologies again to you, Fuzzer. I don't know. They've been absolutely popping off recently. I mean, we saw those clips from the match of the week, and yeah, it's just that's so difficult to deal with. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible, but it's hard to root against that kind of gameplay succeeding. So I will go BDS and let's say 4.
Rue, we will allow you as the guest to predict on this one, so you can go ahead and predict whichever team you think is going to win.
Oh my god. I'm bad at it. What are the teams again? Like, what are the teams?
It's Big Dragon Squad versus Gentle Paws.
Hopefully you know who on the first one.
Yeah, hopefully. We're getting Aeroax levels of Aero.exe right now.
Calculating.
Oh my god. I just can't not, like, vote for anything these days.
No, that's fair.
You know what? Just because I've seen my team play really well, I'm taking BDS.
Let's go.
That's fair. That's a good prediction. I hate to do it, but Fire, I'm sorry. BDS looks so good. Miza and Reverb have been popping off. RooTheFuzzy has been holding down the back line. It's such a good squad. You guys look good, but after last week's loss, I cannot give the benefit of the doubt to Pictus until I see another win against a strong team. So if you guys do upset the desk and win this one come out this week, I'm gonna start giving credence to the pick again. But until then, I'm gonna have to go BDS in 4. And now that the Fire hate is over, nah, we love you, Fire, always. Let's go to our next match. Black Bunny Gaming versus Fox Clan. This one is going to be a really good matchup. I'm sure of it. These teams both have constantly gone to Game 5, and I believe, if I'm correct, they are very close in the standings. Second against 5th, but it's literally just game differential that's separating them right now. So, Fire, who do you have taking this one?
Ooh. That's a tough one. Oh, that's a really tough one. I am totally prepared to make this pick. I think the Javian Taka combo is strengthening quite a bit. However, I think the combo between who does Black Bunny have filling in for their third again?
It is Kiki now.
Yeah, Kiki. They have a new player on their roster. They have that roster change that is for the first time coming into effect this week. So because of that, I think I'm gonna give the edge to Fox Clan, and I'm gonna choose them in 4.
Docky?
Feeling we're gonna probably need a desk sweep, because I think Fox Clan has ramped it up quite a bit. The lads look like they're having fun, and that mental I'm always gonna root for. I like I said, just after watching them play, even though they lost, they played so well, and they have such insane chemistry. So I see them taking it in 3.
Oh. All right, Roo, if you're still with us, I think you are. What's your thoughts on this one? Fox Clan and Black Bunny Gaming.
I think oh my goodness, Black Bunny Gaming is gonna take this. I have played against their team and Bezix, Hammer, and the third one. I mean, like, I think they're gonna take this. There's something really good at keeping players at bay. I don't know, like when we played against them, Bezix was like right onto us. They like knew what's the weakness of our team. I think it's with Hammer strategy. I don't know, BT, but I am pretty sure like they have that kind of, I don't know how to say this. Like, oh my, how to say this? I don't even know how to say this, but I'm thinking DBG is gonna take this.
Oh. Black Bunny Gaming, so not a full desk sweep. Close to it though, because I did predict Fox Clan in 5. Obviously, I think Black Bunny Gaming takes a couple of games. Docky, honestly, 3-0, kind of wild to expect Hammer not to get a game win. But I do like what Fox Clan is doing with their roster, and honestly, Cosmo has been popping off lately, and I think that that's just the extra firepower that they need. But you're gonna have to make sure that every member of the team is getting those shots on net, because Hammer is gonna be insanely difficult to score on. Every goal is going to count, so you're gonna need to make sure to do it and do it quick. But Fox Clan in 5 is mine. And we move on, I believe, to the last match to talk about. I guess we did do Persian 1 and Awoptic early. Not what I meant to do, but we are going to do our last one, Virgin Rebellion and X3 Tactics. And I think this is going to be a pretty easy prediction from everybody. Fire, what you got?
Oh gosh, I am... especially since Aerolax isn't here, I am one of the people who I love this Trojan Rebellion roster. Solid team, but I think it would be a bit silly to vote against X3 at this point in the season. I'm going to choose them in 3. I'm choosing X3 Tactics in 3. It would be silly to choose against them right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Persians are playing really well recently. I think they played in our match. That's the best I think I've ever seen them play. Turtles was very consistent and obnoxious. But I don't see them winning that series. I think they take it to a game 5 and they push it. I don't think they quite can make the final push. So I do think X3 wins it, but I do think that it goes to a game 5.
Interesting. Rue, what's your last prediction of the day?
This is interesting. X3 versus. Okay. I'm taking X3 this point. Like, they're just so strong. Like, I'm pretty sure like the MVP is from X3, right? Am I right or wrong?
Wait,
I'm sorry?
who is from X3?
Gallo. Player Gallo. Is he in X3,
no.
or is it something else?
No, that's a lock pick.
X.
X3 is Shy, Corrupt, and Rude Boy Brian.
Okay. I'm still taking X3. Like, I think that's a solid team. I've played against Shy before, and I think, like,
Airlax, we need to borrow some of your RAM. Rude needs it.
Oh,
Think-
oh,
Is there a DC? Are we good? I think we have a bit of a DC.
I think we
but
might have a DC, yeah.
yeah, we did get his prediction now for X3 Tactics, and so I will just continue going on with my prediction. And I mean, it's the same as Docky's. X3 and 5. I think Protogen is looking really good lately, taking very strong teams to 5 games. So I definitely think they can do it against X3 Tactics. But I have not seen that final gear click yet in those game 5s. And until I see it, I gotta give the edge to X3 Tactics because they haven't they haven't lost a series yet. So like, how can you really go against them in this case? So X3 Tactics in 5. I think everybody would love to see an upset though. I think that would be very interesting. And I'm gonna check real quick. Rue, are you back in?
Uh-oh.
I don't think so. They said in the chat they need more RAM. Because this is about the time where we give it over to our guest to have a quick shout out before we end the day. So I want to see if... Oh,
that's
okay.
a poof. That's a full-on DC.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they will pop back in to a chat here. If they do, we'll be able to pull them back in, but they might be out of commission for the night. But we will wait for a second. But I will ask you guys while we wait, what match are you guys most excited to see this coming week?
I am assuming I'm not allowed to choose my own once again.
Yeah, you can't choose your own.
But outside of my own, honestly, I am really excited to see the Fox Clan Black Bunny matchup. I'm excited to see how Black Bunny meshes with Kiki, because I think that has the potential to be a really strong combination if Kiki is able to mesh well in those rotations. So yeah, I mean, Fox Clan, they're also just a really solid all-around team. They've played really well week after week after week. So, I mean, what else is there to say? They're a solid team. So, 2 solid teams going into it, ready to brawl. You can't get anything better than that. So, I'm excited for that one. What are you feeling, Fade?
What am I feeling? I definitely think I'm looking forward to Good question. Honestly, I'm looking forward to Twisted Tales and Lumosity. I think that could go either way. I think that we could really see a good pop-off from Twisted Tales and they take their second victory. But Lumosity, I mean, it depends on how the squad is feeling on the day. I think Aerolax is always going to do good. I think putting Avid back on the field is going to be a great idea for them. Get that chemistry going. But Twisted Tales is not going to be an easy team to beat. So I want to see how creative Lumosity can get with their goal scoring attempts. And I think it's going to be a really good match. What about you, Docky?
What are you talking about? Sorry, I had
You're good. Oh, okay. I see. What match are you most excited for next week?
me, because I want to play because it's fun.
Okay, not picking yourself. That's the caveat.
Dang it. Shoot. That's a good question. I honestly, yeah. Wait, did you pick the X3 game?
I picked Twisted Tales of Lumosity and Fire picked. I can't remember.
I chose Black Bunny Fox.
That was it. That was it.
Yeah, okay. I'll pick the X3 proto game because I do think that will be an entertaining series if Protogen continues to play like they were playing last week.
All right, and I will say I don't see RooTheFuzzy anywhere else here, guys. So I think with that, we are going to be saying goodnight here on the RFDL podcast. So without further ado, guys, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Make sure to tune in on Saturday for the first day of week 6. And, you know, we're going to finally get over that halfway hurdle on this part of league play. And we're getting closer and closer to the mid-season tournament. And that's going to be so fun to pull off. I'm very excited for all these games coming up. And I hope you all are excited as well. And I think that's it for now. So we're going to leave you with one more look at Turtles' new home as he converses with his sheep friend and you know, enjoy the countryside. But until next time, guys, peace out. Have a good night.
Deuces.
All I seek to